If you wanted to give parents and coaches like one or two nuggets of what they should know getting their kid into the game, should they play tennis or another sport, or and if they start entering the tennis world, what do parents need to know? Because I we get this question all the time from parents. My kid is getting pretty good in the junior ranks in my little town here. Should we travel all over the place, or should we stay closer to home, or what do we do as a parent? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, look, I think the most important thing comes not from tennis, but from parenting, right? And I think it's all about making sure, your child's having a good time and making sure that they can deal with the adversity of winning and losing. To me, that's the first thing. And it's all about encouragement and evolution, not about I don't care if you're ranked 2 in the 12s or 78 in the 12s. I don't care if your UTR is 6.2 or 16.2. For me as a parent, I really don't care. The first thing that should be the driver is how much fun is my child having with this challenge? And can they balance the fun and disappointment? And it's up to me as a parent to help them have at least a modicum of understanding of those things so that they can deal with that stuff. And if they're dealing with that well, and you're watching them go through this evolution, the most important thing after that to me is making sure you have good voices around you, making sure you do have people that understand the tennis landscape around you. And that landscape changes as you get older. But when they're young, it's really important to have those good developmental coaches, but it all has to be driven by the fun and the comprehension of the environment of the child. And people, unfortunately, in my opinion, they go to all-time greats too often. All-time greats are the exception. They're not the rule. Just because Richard Williams did what he did with Venus and Serena, that's not what you're supposed to do. Just because Pete did what he did based on what his dad wanted him to do, that's not what you're supposed to do. Based on what Andres did, that's not necessarily what you're supposed to do. So sometimes they look at these tremendous legends and these aberrations, and they go, that's what I want my child to do. I can tell you how many people have come up to me and said, I want my kid to serve like Pete Sampras. And they're like, good luck, and I want my kid to understand how to hit a running forehand like Roger Federer. Like, yeah, me too, but that doesn't happen. But the trick is, what got them to the state where they could actually do that? It's the skills and the habits that allowed those freakish talents to blossom. Those are the traits you want to take as a parent and as a coach, not what they did, but how they got to that juncture. And Pete's laser focus to me was one of the most amazing things I've ever been around. And that was his ability. That was the ability that allowed him to inevitably trust in the most pressure-packed situation. He failed plenty of times, but he believed it. Roger's ability to have this youthful exuberance and joy and love for tennis after so many years is something I've never seen before in my life. But that's allowed him to be successful until 39 years of age. So yeah, you have to take these things into the equation and not just what you see. And that's about having good people around you. And that's about having an understanding of the evolution of the process that's taking place. But the parent, going back to your original question, Paul, it all has to be driven, to me, by the understanding of what your child's going through and making sure there's a nice balance between dealing with adversity, success, failure, and enjoying the processes that are surrounded by that to allow it to keep going. And then once the child really starts to get engaged, then it's getting the right tennis people to help you manage the situation. And also as a parent, I learned this the hard way too. You have to know what you don't know. My son, Nicholas, got very into basketball. I backed up. I loved his jump shot. I loved watching his games, but his high school coach played for the New York Knicks back in the day. You tell him what to do. I'll sit here and cheer. You have to understand what you know and what you don't know. And what you don't know, you have good people around to help guide.